Welcome back to the Global Cricket Premier League. We're building on to the second game for the day. Well, of course, Delhi Sharks taking on Mumbai Grizzlies. Both come back from a loss, just like we saw the first game. 2 points at stake.
Oh, absolutely. कल पहले दिन के मुकाबले में दोनों टीमें अपना ओपनिंग मैच हारी हैं, तो आज हमने जैसे देखा पहले मुकाबले में सिडनी ने कमबैक किया, अपना फॉर्चून टर्न अराउंड किया, पहले 2 पॉइंट्स कमाए, एक और मौका है। और मुंबई की टीम मेरे हिसाब से बहुत अच्छी टीम है, और ये जो मुकाबला है नंबर 1 और नंबर 2 जो खिलाड़ी हैं पूरी टूर्नामेंट में रियल क्रिकेट के प्लेटफॉर्म पे, उनके बीच में है।
Of course, we'll have a look at the format as well, of course, in the tournament where we go forward in understanding, of course, the league happening for the very first time of the season. And, of course, it's a great platform for these gamers across, or athletes, if we can call them that, for this entire tournament. So there, of course, we had Sydney taking on London in the first game, followed by Delhi and Mumbai now. Remember, we have some good games coming up. Chennai taking on London as well in their second game for the day. And eventually, the table toppers, New York Apes, get together against the Mumbai Grizzlies. Again, second game for them. So all these teams, of course, get to play two games in a day, or a few of them at least.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the format of the league is as such. 10 days, we are going to have 5 matches. On the 11th day, we are going to have 6 matches. So every team will have an opportunity to play 2 games in one day. और वहाँ पे आप अपना फॉर्चून बदल सकते हैं। आप दोनों मैच जीत के बिल्कुल टेबल के ऊपर चढ़ सकते हैं। अगर आप पिछले मैच हारे हैं तो आप पॉइंट्स अर्जित कर सकते हैं, अपने पहले पॉइंट्स टेबल पे डाल सकते हैं, जैसे सिडनी ने किया। लंदन पहला मुकाबला हार गए, मुंबई के पास अब अपॉर्चुनिटी है, दिल्ली के पास अब अपॉर्चुनिटी है। और दिल्ली मुंबई की जहां बात करें हम, ये राइवलरी हर फॉर्मेट में, हर जगह पे ये राइवलरी बहुत बड़ी राइवलरी है।
And of course, remember, we're bringing you all the coverage on JioCinema, and we did have the predictions from the talent, including the casters, Crips, Floki, Chetan, and me there. And that's how it looks like. Well, okay, so I would agree there, of course, that I got it right for the first time, or rather the second time for the day, if I could put across. But Floki and Crips, my casters, my dear friends, I think we'll have that banter towards the end. But I think, Chetan, is it just you and me who got this right?
Yeah, it looks like that, and hopefully it'll continue to be right going forward. I'm just surprised that Floki is from Mumbai, but he's picked up Delhi to win the next game. So yeah, I'm just a little surprised over there.
I think, of course, they're trying to go through the stats and everything, but we have the game in hand right now. We have Delhi taking on Mumbai. A very intense clash for these two teams, because remember, they're trying to make their mark on the board. 2 points important for them to kick off their campaign at the inaugural GEPL now. The match is ready. Delhi taking on Mumbai. The two captains have been very crucial in understanding and taking the team forward. They've led from the front for their teams. We'll get to understand how Delhi works. Now remember, Delhi, well, they had a decent outing. I won't call it a disastrous start of performance for them, but again, falling short.
Yeah, falling short in their first game. I mean, you look at some of their important players. Soumyadipta Biswas, he is a hardcore gamer. He's a brute player. So, you know, you would think that there's a lot of confidence in him. There's a lot of responsibility on him to bat at the top. And then, you know, our favorite, Jayesh Bhai, he is the number 2 gamer in this entire tournament. You know, real cricket ke platform pe, he's the number 2 player. And then there are a couple of other, Manmeet, his economy is around 6, and he's the captain, so he'll have a lot of important deliveries to bowl today.
Well, remember, if you are a good all-rounder, you can help your team win matches, which is what's very important, is it? It's not just about an individual batting performance. We'll have a look at the other side of the coin, where Mumbai, again, they have the likes of PK and, of course, Millen, who can give them the good runs on board. But also what's important is they have to be very efficient with the ball as well.
Roshan, आपने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात यहाँ पे कही कि आप अगर बैट और बॉल दोनों से कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हो, तो यू आर गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑलराउंडर फॉर योर टीम, स्पेशली इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट जहाँ 5-5 ओवर का मैच हो रहा है। और मुंबई की अगर हम टीम की बात करें, तो इनके पास ऐसे खिलाड़ी हैं जिनके स्ट्राइक रेट 200 से ऊपर है, और उसके बाद गेंदबाजी में भी बहुत अच्छे हैं। टॉप 4 बैट्समैन ऑल अबव 200 स्ट्राइक रेट, एंड देन देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ गुड इकोनॉमी bowling as well.
We can talk about the likes of Davinder and Sargent, but again, we have our players to watch out for when we go, of course, build towards the games here. There it is, Jayesh and Abhishek there, smiles on their faces. I'm pretty sure it could be an exciting outing for them.
You know, this is a matchup where I think Jayesh takes the hat. You know, number 2 player in real cricket. Lekin we'll not underestimate anybody. Abhishek, you know, he's a defensive player. He's been given that kind of role, but he's going to be really important. You know, the dot ball percentage. I'm looking at his dot ball percentage. 27% of the deliveries he bowls are dot balls. So that's something that is, you know, Delhi has to watch out against.
Well, of course, till yesterday we were of course gauging the fact that a toss could be very, very important. Well, it is important, but today, like we did mention, that it has changed considerably, knowing the fact that a team has successfully defended their right after winning the toss, of course, which is important. And now, of course, talking about the toss, we have both the captains with Neeraj and the umpires, of course, ready for the toss for the second game of the day.
Pulse of Mania is here. Maniacs wanted.
Piyush, hey, I was just on lenskart. Your price at $999, right?
नहीं करण रुपीज है
I can't be seen wearing glasses under 1 lakh. Price थोड़ा ज्यादा हो सकता है क्या?
करण ये बढ़िया प्राइस है इट्स ओनली बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव मिडिलमैन
90,000?
आप कहीं और से ले लो
80,000.
आई एम गोइंग बाय
अमीरों की हाई लगेगी तुझे.
Factory wale prices, no middlemen. Lenskart. Download the app.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी पाइप नहीं.
भाइयों और बहनों, दिस इज डे 2 मैच नंबर 2 और मेरे साथ है बोथ द कैप्टन्स मनमीत सिंह फॉर दिल्ली शार्क्स एंड देवेंद्र सिंह फॉर मुंबई ग्रिजलीज. Both the teams are looking for their first win and are very determined to prove a point today. I would like the umpire on the stage for the toss. A big round of applause, guys. Chaliye. Captains, who's going to take the call? Manmeet has chosen to take the call. Okay.
Head.
Delhi have gone for head and it is tails. It is tails. Okay. बताइए देवेंद्र, आइए.
We will ball first.
You will bowl. Okay. Why so, देवेंद्र?
और लास्ट मैच में हमें बैटिंग फर्स्ट में थोड़ा टारगेट का पता नहीं था, पार्टनरशिप बिल्ड नहीं हो पाया, तो इस बार ट्राई करेंगे चेज करने का.
अच्छा जी. ओके. लवली यार. ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू देवेंद्र. मनमीत आइए यहाँ पे, बताइए क्या लग रहा है अभी?
कुछ नहीं, बस टॉस जीते हैं, मैच तो जीतेंगे ही ना.
बिल्कुल. अरे कुछ भी हो, मनमीत का कॉन्फिडेंस ऑलवेज 100 प्लस. A big round of applause for both the teams, guys. चलिए, all the best. So the Mumbai Grizzlies have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl. It's going to be a very exciting match. Over and out to my analysts.
Well, of course, Devinder Singh there from Mumbai winning the toss and choosing to bowl. I'm pretty sure there is a strategy up to it as well.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, they want the target in front of them. हमने बहुत बार बात की है कि अगर आप वाइट बॉल फॉर्मेट को देखें या रियल लाइफ क्रिकेट को अगर आप देखें ODIs और T20s में, you want a target in front of you, and it's not very different in real cricket, in global ecricket Premier League. So, you know, we've had the one game जो पिछला मुकाबला था जहाँ पे सिडनी ने डिफेंड किया. It's not had an impact. You know, teams are not really ready to accept that. So, let's see what happens in this particular game. Couple of interesting options. Good bowling options for Mumbai. They have bowlers with economy of 5, they have economy of 6, and they are experienced players. Their captain and their vice captain, Davinder and Milan. So they are experienced bowlers. Let's see what happens.
Of course, we are then game ready then for the second match of the day here in Pune. And of course, you're watching us on JioCinema. But I'll tell you what, before we go to the casters, it's 1-0 already because the analysts have already prepared one right prediction. The casters, nil. Throwing off to you, then Cripps and Floki.
All new Pulse of Mania is here. Maniacs wanted.
अब आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है.
जो खुद की सुनते हैं दुनिया उनकी सुनती है. lenskart आकड़ है.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी पाइप नहीं.
Well, thank you so much for the warm welcome, Roshan. That's what I would have normally said, but I did not know we were keeping track.
Oh yeah.
If that's the case, then game on, my friend.
Oh yeah, game on indeed. Let's see who's going to win it out by the end of the day, the casters or the analysts. But we are back with the second day of the Global eCricket Premier League, and we should be jumping straight into the match between Delhi Sharks as well as the Mumbai Grizzlies. Both these teams had a disappointing day one, but after that, Cripps, I do have to say, I think the Mumbai Grizzlies are out for revenge. They've learned a thing or two from their opponent. I think Davinder also said that, hey, they would be much more comfortable if they get to chase instead. So, yeah, let's see what the Mumbai Grizzlies and the Sharks are made of. Well,
the Sharks deciding to bowl, to bat first, rather. It's going to be another game of a wild goose chase with Biswas starting out.
Oh, yeah. Biswas, the brute player on the side of the Delhi Sharks. Looks like the power play over has begun. As Mumbai Grizzlies do their best to try and limit the number of boundaries they give away to the side of the Delhi Sharks. And it's Abhishek's responsibility to make sure that that plan is seen through.
Going for the risky ones, and that's what happens. Unnecessary reverse sweep attempted by Vaibhav, and he goes out on duck. The very first ball he faces is the very first ball he's sent back.
Oh yeah, beautiful catch coming through. Abhishek on the money on that one, and you could see even Milan was trying to dance and getting a feel.
I know the drummer's expected to beat it, but he did not expect that he would be beating it for a wicket this soon. I mean, up until now, all that you've seen people do in the first few balls is just smash boundaries all throughout.
Yeah, and I believe that is going to be the very first, well, I have to say, not the very first, but the earliest wicket we have seen in this entire tournament so far.
Exactly. Well, the earliest wicket on the second ball itself. And it wasn't even a spin or anything else. He did not bamboozle the batsman.
Oh, but that's a beautiful shot coming through. And the Sharks answer back. And answer back with a roar. It's a beautiful six coming through.
A roar as strong as the Pulsar's rev.
Oh yeah, the Pulsar NS125.
Biswas exacting revenge for whatever happened to his fallen teammate. But he tries to go for a long lofted shot once again, and it goes over the boundary once more.
Oh yeah. Another beautiful shot coming in from the batsman, as again it is a showstopper of a shot, just like the Pulsar NS125. Making this the tournament's 60th four.
Oh, we've reached the 60 mark already?
Oh yeah.
Crazy, dude. It's just been one day.
Oh, is that going to be caught? Yes,
another
it is. And the Delhi Sharks dropping wickets left, right and centre.
They're dropping like flies.
First over itself, and they've lost two already. Abhishek with really brilliant bowling, perfectly baiting out two of their batsmen. And that is Biswas and Vaibhav out of the picture.
Hey, at least Biswas was able to hit something before he finally went down. At least he went down swinging. The other guy, oh boy, he went down on the first strike itself. And now Abhishek, having done his duty, having fulfilled his responsibilities, will rest easy and let Swapnil take the ball over.
Yeah, and Neep was a bit too ambitious there. Will find nothing. This looks like the Grizzlies are here to play. The Delhi Sharks certainly taking the time to find their footing. Another ball connects on the batsman's body and not on the bat.
Yeah, just wrong shot decisions all over. You can see this time he's already trying to go for the back foot. Might have to change his stance later on, and he goes for a scoop.
Okay, well, they do find one on the back of that, but it's not that impressive.
Yeah, and it probably would have gone for a 4 if there weren't two fielders towards the backside, both towards third man and fine leg in the 30-yard circle. Most of the times you would see people spread out towards the point, cover and square leg region more.
Oh, okay. Looks like that was a wide. And yeah, that's going to be another opportunity here for the side of the Delhi Sharks in this power play over.
Swapnil, he might be going for those off spins again and again, but he's changing the variation of how much his ball spins. Sometimes it doesn't deviate as much as it would in another ball.
Oh yeah. You can see that the Delhi Sharks are rather timid. They're not really going for those many runs. They're quite wary of the fact that the Grizzlies might just catch them off guard, and losing 2 wickets in 1 over has to have spooked them just a little bit.
Not a little bit. I think it was quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Another ground scraper.
Is there's going to be a wicket? No. The dive covers the runs, but again, Really quick on the fingers there by Swapnil, making sure that the ball is fielded perfectly.
But it feels like Delhi are playing for scraps. It's been 2 overs and they haven't even crossed the 20-run mark. Unless they can go for a boundary right now.
And that one is not going to be it. As the fielder will manage to stop that ball before it reaches the boundary, but definitely not the kind of start the Delhi Sharks were looking for.
Absolutely not. Their star players Biswas and Vaibhav are out already. And Delhi Sharks are the kind of team that relied a lot on Vaibhav's performance yesterday. Yes, they did not win, but Vaibhav did put on something little close to heart. And I don't know, man. As long as he's not on the pitch, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on Jayesh too, right? As the last radical batsman for the side of the Delhi Sharks, he has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. And let's not forget, this was just the first 2 power play overs. This is where the batsmen were expected to score. This is where they were expected to get those boundaries. This is where the bowlers really had to put in the work to try and get the wickets. And Abhishek did just that in the first one. And you can see, Sajan, he's looking to continue that trend. Just make sure that the early lead that was established thanks to Abhishek's awareness and hard work will be kept. And they can make their chase a lot easier moving into the second innings. Sajan, see if he can find a couple of wickets here. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, but still doing a good job at making sure that the Sharks only find 2s.
You need to give that strike to Jayesh. There's a reason why Jayesh is the second best player overall in the league.
Yeah, and Neep. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if he deliberately just went for a 1 there, but no, they go for a 2, so he will retain strike.
Yeah, and they can't even afford to play in a lofted fashion towards that cover side. There's way too many people present over there. One in the inner circle, the other one right next to the boundary. So the cover and mid-wicket areas are actually well covered.
It seems like the Grizzlies really have the Sharks by the hip, not only on the field, but also psychologically.
Exactly. But that is perhaps because Neep is playing. I think the tide will change when Jayesh takes strike.
Yeah, but let's not forget, even the batsman needs some time to get acclimatized, and he's only had
True,
1 ball.
true.
So, yeah, the clock is ticking. And you can see the smile breaking out as well on Sachin's face as he knew exactly what that meant. But 1 final ball remaining in this over. Maybe, just maybe, he's able to find a wicket, but no, that was a full toss. Looks like 2 is all they're going to get on the side of the Delhi Sharks, though. This does mean that Jayesh is now at strike.
Indeed. Jayesh, one of the hard hitters. One of the best hard hitters actually of the entire tournament. Ranked number 2 currently overall. बहुत ही अच्छा उनका strike rate भी है 224 का. And he can do well on bowling.
Oh yeah.
He's also quite active on social media from what I've heard, but right now the only activity they need is that on the pitch.
Yeah, you can't have anything else going through your mind right now, otherwise you're already giving the enemy team an edge. And I think Jayesh has enough on his plate already, given how the first over went down.
Yeah.
But with still 2 overs remaining in the pocket, there's still a chance to try and set up a respectable run rate, but Jayesh is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting here.
उसी के साथ मिलन और देवेंद्र वो दोनों भी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि फील्डिंग किस तरह से सेटअप करनी है. ओह ये देखिए काफी वियर्ड सेटअप है फील्ड का. बहुत सारे फील्डर्स इनसाइड द सर्कल टुवर्ड्स मिड विकेट एंड लॉन्ग ऑन. गैप्स है तो सही, लेकिन वो गैप्स में आप बाउंड्री नहीं निकाल पाओगे. एट दिस पॉइंट जयेश के पास सिर्फ एक ही ऑप्शन है एक क्लीन बाउंड्री मारने के लिए, एंड दैट इज टू ईदर टॉस द बॉल टुवर्ड्स थर्ड मैन साइड या फिर बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग शॉट टुवर्ड्स मिड विकेट over the heads of the players who are in the 30-yard circle.
Oh yeah. और इसी के साथ मिलन की बॉलिंग भी काफी शानदार है यहाँ पे. जो फास्ट बॉलर है मुंबई ग्रिजलीज के लिए, जैसे ही ये सेकंड लास्ट ओवर आती है वैसे ही वापस से भारी भरकम प्रेशर बनाने की कोशिश. देखते कि वो कामयाब होंगे या नहीं, लेकिन ये बॉल, ये गेंद बाउंड्री नहीं जाएगी. फील्डर से प्रोटेक्ट कर पाएंगे और वापस से मिलन काफी अच्छा ध्यान देते हुए अपने फील्डर्स पर ऐसी ही बॉल डाल रहे जैसे जो कवर्ड है.
Yeah. जेएस भी ज़्यादा रिस्क नहीं ले सकते अभी. He's the last strong batsman of his team. इसलिए वो भी जब कट शॉट्स ही मारते हैं तो ग्राउंड की तरफ पॉइंट करके मारते हैं बैट को rather than lofting it.
Oh yeah. उसी के साथ 2 और रन दिल्ली शार्क्स के लिए, लेकिन उन्हें उससे बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए अगर वो ग्रिजलीज को हराना चाहते हैं, या फिर उनकी बॉलिंग उतनी शानदार होनी पड़ेगी.
Yeah.
क्योंकि इतने रन्स पे आई डोंट थिंक ग्रिजलीज को ज़्यादा दिक्कत आएगी. 35 runs is very few given the number of balls that have been played, but again the Grizzlies doing a very good job of making sure that the Sharks really have to take a riskier swing if they want to get those boundaries.
या अगर आप हर एक बॉल पे 2 रन भी दे दोगे तो चलता है. I guess एक run rate of 12 is easily coverable by a team like Mumbai Grizzlies. Even though उनकी टीम में बहुत ज़्यादा hard hitting batsmen है, कल वो इतना बड़ा टारगेट नहीं बना पाए. तो आज मुंबई को बॉलिंग में बहुत ही ज़्यादा दबदबा बना के रखना पड़ेगा, because they can't predict उनका बैटिंग साइड कैसा रहने वाला है.
Oh yeah. And I guess that's partly because I think the Grizzlies let their reputation get ahead of them, right? They tried to be a bit too aggressive. They didn't really respect their opponents all that much. And some of them got out sooner than they would have liked. Milan, his final ball for the over, will again make sure that there is not a single boundary, as Milan has done a really, really good job at shutting down any chance off the side of Sharks finding some tempo.
ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि उनने जयेश को स्पेसिफिकली काउंटर करने के लिए ये फील्डिंग सेटअप की है. मुंबई ग्रिज़लीज हैव क्लियरली डन देयर होमवर्क. जयेश के सारे फेवरेट शॉट्स ब्लॉक किए जा रहे हैं. उनको पावरफुल शॉट्स उठाने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा है. वो लॉफ्ट करने से डर रहे हैं बिकॉज बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स इनसाइड द 30 यार्ड सर्कल है. एंड नाउ दैट द स्ट्राइक इज चेंज्ड, नाउ दैट नीप वापस आ चुके हैं स्ट्राइक पे, एक इनसाइड आउट फील्ड लगा दी है मुंबई ग्रिज़लीज ने.
बिल्कुल, और उसी के साथ नीप सिर्फ 2 रन्स ले पाएंगे यहाँ पे. वापस से शानदार फील्डिंग दविंदर की तरफ से. कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो भी ज्यादा बाउंड्री ना दे, और ये रन रेट पे मुंबई ग्रिज़लीज के लिए चेस करना बहुत ही आसान होगा. इनफैक्ट अगर ये ऐसे ही जाते रहे तो उन्हें शायद सिर्फ 1 या 2 बाउंड्रीज की जरूरत पड़ेगी, या शायद वो भी नहीं.
Actually, yeah. Devinder, captain himself, number 1 ranked player of the league, back on the ball.
And again, just really good bowling coming through from Devinder, making use of his fielders, making use of the fact that there's really not a lot of room for the batsman to try and loft the ball without potentially risking a few wickets. But given that this is the last over, I do want to see them get ambitious. With Jayesh at strike, I think it's high time we start to see some boundaries being attempted.
Exactly. If there's anyone who can loft them over the boundary, it is him. Rank number 1 versus rank number 2. This is the battle of the titans, and it could have gone horribly wrong for Jayesh.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, वो ball good length की थी, stumps के just ऊपर से होते हुए गई, but it was well within the line of the stumps.
Indeed. You can see Devinder taking his sweet time to adjust the field. Make sure that the batsman always has to try and attempt something new and something bold. But the more you do that, the riskier it is, and as a result, really, Delhi Sharks, they haven't really found any boundaries, I believe, since the very first over of this match. And I think that's a first for the tournament as well. Kind of brutal, but this one looks good, but it might just be caught by the fielder. It is. As the Grizzlies will get another wicket. Jesh sent backing back to the dugout as that's a lenskart out. Didn't really keep a good eye on it, and perhaps he needs to get his eyes checked, and if he does, well, lenskart will have him covered for the frames.
That was a well lofted bat. You can tell कि जयेश pressure में आके ये सारे lofted shots मारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. और Neep, the man who started it, now has to finish it as well. Nicely sent over towards fine leg.
Oh, and they will be able to at least get the last 2 runs. And that's going to be the end of the first innings as the Mumbai Grizzlies created a ton of pressure.
और
lenskart. Download the app or visit your nearest store.
ये पाइप चलेगा फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी पाइप नहीं
बहुत ही ज्यादा प्रेशर है फ्लो की. फॉर कॉन्टेक्स्ट, जस्ट टू टेल यू हाउ मच प्रेशर इज ऑन दिल्ली शार्क्स राइट नाउ. हमने तो बहुत सारी टीम्स को ऐसा देखा है जो 60 के ऊपर पार कर जाती है. 50 is a decent enough target, लेकिन still achievable. This one is different. This is the very first time जब एक टीम ने less than 50 runs score किए हैं एक innings में. The lowest total of the entire tournament so far.
Yeah, that's definitely not a title you want to have as any of these teams over here, but that's what you have to work with if you're the Sharks, and
I guess they don't do well on grass.
They certainly don't, but I mean, hey, adversity really tests what men are made of, and perhaps Delhi Sharks are made of stronger stuff than they know. As we'll find out in the first over, but right off the bat, seemed like there was a good ball headed for the boundary, but well defended by the Sharks. Although, let's not forget, it's really the Delhi Sharks who are under the pressure, not the Grizzlies.
Innings बदलेंगी, strike बदलेंगी, लेकिन pipes बिल्कुल नहीं. Courtesy of finolex. Oh, that was a cool shot.
Okay. And that's a couple extra runs here for the side of the Mumbai Grizzlies.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised कि PK ऐसे backwards shots मारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं towards fine leg, towards third man and all these kind of areas. I really thought वो starting में long off को ज़्यादा target करेंगे because he is that kind of a batsman जो उस areas में बहुत strong perform कर सकता है.
Oh yeah. उसी के साथ मुंबई ग्रिज़लीज़ बहुत ही आराम से खेलते हुए, even though power play over है, वो जानते हैं उन्हें क्या रन रेट बनाई रखनी है और उनका ध्यान सिर्फ उसी पर है.
Exactly.
Oh, लेकिन ये कैच, बहुत ही शानदार कैच दिल्ली शार्क्स की तरफ से. PK थोड़ा सा ज्यादा भावुक हो गए, सोच रहे थे कि शायद उन्हें एक बहुत अच्छी बाउंड्री मिल सकती है वहां पे, लेकिन दिल्ली शार्क्स उन्हें आउट करते हुए यहाँ पे.
रिवर्स स्वीप, especially जब दो स्लिप प्लेयर्स है, या डेफिनेटली रिस्की. मुंबई को इतना ज्यादा रिस्क उठाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Even though they have some of the best batsmen in the entire tournament, they can't afford to lose these wickets, especially not when their target is so achievable, so close.
Oh yeah. And Delhi Sharks, उनको यही momentum बनाए रखना पड़ेगा. And that is the winner at strike as soon as he comes in. That is going to be another 2 runs as he just continues to make sure that he doesn't really lose those wickets. Really have to hold on to those. Even though you're in the power play over, you have to play it safe. That is where reverse psychology might just come into the picture, and perhaps Molan can be the man to throw a wrench into Mumbai Grizzlies' plans. Because you are going to need some form of miracle to try and pull this one back. Although, doing that against Sachin and Davinder is not the easiest task in the world. They're both radical batsmen, and
absolutely not.
They're going to take every opportunity they get, just like this one. Continue to get 2 runs and really put the pressure on Delhi instead. Why attempt those boundaries? Why take those risky shots? Why even try to loft the ball high up in the air? Instead, just take it easy.
Definitely. Oh, no, you can't afford to get down on one knee for that one. Sweep attempt करने की कोशिश थी, which is appropriate against spinners. लेकिन सचिन की timing थोड़ी off हो गई.
Oh yeah. Death by 1,000 cuts.
Paper cuts, rather.
Oh yeah, 1,000 paper cuts, that's even more painful.
Yeah, because these are like slow, chipped away balls, just eating away at Delhi's patience.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Delhi are not too pleased, but maybe they can throw a curve ball. Speaking of which, again, if this was any other inning with the average amount of runs, maybe a little bit over 55, maybe even 60 runs, this would still be a good start for the Sharks. But given the fact that Grizzlies have such a low target to chase, you need a lot more, and Davinder with a beautiful shot will find a boundary on the 5th ball of the 2nd over.
That's what captains are made of. And you can see even the vice captain is rejoicing.
Oh yeah, the Grizzlies really happy about that. There's the winner.
Ooh.
Okay, another good shot.
Yeah, and he keeps grounded. Even though it's a powerful swing towards that square leg side. A cut rather. He doesn't loft it that much.
Yeah. And that 4 by the winner is actually going to give the Mumbai Grizzlies a fair amount of buffer to work with.
Exactly.
So
even if you get a couple of dot balls, you can afford to take those.
Yeah, I mean, that is some sweat off their brow. So now the Delhi Sharks really have to dig deep into their strat book and into themselves to see if they can catch the Mumbai Grizzlies off guard. Because currently it's them who's in a chokehold.
Yeah, they will need to set the field accordingly to catch them off guard. Trap set करना पड़ेगा. हमने पिछले मैच में देखा था कैसे ऑफसाइड पे बॉल डाल के बहुत सारे बैट्समैन को ट्रैप किया जा रहा था.
बिल्कुल.
फिर चाहे वो सिडनी हो या कोई भी दूसरी टीम हो, ये एक स्ट्रैटेजी हर एक टीम इस्तेमाल कर सकती है.
और ये दिल्ली शार्क्स के मीडियम फास्ट बॉलर है जयेश. सबसे पहली बॉल फेकिंग है सचिन ट्रीट. अच्छा शॉट.
या हल्का सा स्विंग भी हुआ.
और 2 रन्स तो मिलेंगे. और मुंबई ग्रिज़लीज को बस यही करते रहना है.
Nice flick towards the leg side.
Oh yeah.
Slow and steady. That's what Mumbai Grizzlies are famous for.
Just like the hair of the tortoise.
No, I meant to say that even bears are quite slow in real life.
They are.
Yeah. But they're really, really strong.
But sometimes you don't need strength, you need grace and you need patience. Qualities you don't typically attribute to bears, but the Mumbai Grizzlies seem to possess that in abundance, as we can see. Right after they lost that first wicket, they have become a little squeamish. They're like, okay, you know what? Nope, we're not having any of that. We know exactly what our target is and we know how to chase it.
Sajjan positioning himself a little back towards the leg side. And once again, a shot towards cover. Sorry, for him it's mid-wicket because, you know, he's a left-handed batsman.
Left-handed batsman, there you go. But, yeah.
I think this is going to be one of those lackluster games which Mumbai won't make any fancy moves in simply because they don't need to. They really need a win on the board, especially after their loss yesterday. So, if they want to keep it safe, then sure, I don't really blame them.
Yeah, I just hope that, you know, by the end of this match, none of the players are just caught napping, because it does look like this game is not really shaping up to be super exciting.
I mean, it's exciting with the aspect of the lowest amount of runs given away in the first innings.
Oh yeah.
And that attributes to Mumbai's fielding and bowling prowess.
This is risky, but the dive covers it. There you go. Lot of ambition, though, from the side of Mumbai. Even so, those twos have been looking a bit frivolous coming from their side, but I mean, I think that is a digestible amount of risk for them, because they still are holding on to 4 wickets.
And it's not like they don't have the stomach for it.
Oh.
If they can go for these kind of shots, if they can take these risks, you know exactly how cool and calm Mumbai Grizzlies are right now.
Oh yeah. And the Delhi Sharks are really banging their head against the wall, trying to break it, but unless they're the juggernaut, that's just not happening. 30-1. 19 needed off of 12. And we can see the Grizzlies continuing to just play it slow. Take it easy. Make sure you breathe. And focus on what the bowler is going to do. Do not take your eye or your mind off of him.
I mean, if you are struggling with focus, maybe lenskart can help you with their Hustler Series glasses. But so far, Mumbai have their eyes on the prize.
That looked quite close, but again, well fielded here by Webber. Making sure that even though the Grizzlies are finding twos, some of these twos are starting to look a little bit dicier and dicier by the moment.
Hey, I mean, they are still within the realms of possibility.
Oh, that is high up in the air, but no chance for a catch. The fielder was way too far out towards the boundary.
But still, Devinder goes for the double regardless. And that's all they really need. Even if they play it in a very defensive fashion, even if they send out their defensive batsmen and balanced batsmen out now, I think Mumbai will still have no problem.
Okay. It's a little unfortunate. It looks like the Delhi Sharks will take that. A dot ball is still at least some pressure taken off, but you're going to need a lot more where that came from if you want to try and turn this game around. And Vaibhav, the Sharks are wondering if he is the man to do it, because that is the second dot ball of this over.
Yeah. Devinder was probably expecting that one to be a wide, but it gets counted regardless, reducing the number of balls they have available to achieve this rather easy target.
Oh yeah.
Another dot ball. Looks like Vaibhav is putting up a performance.
Yeah, this is starting to shape up to be a really good over, but let's not forget, the man at strike can work wonders. And look at the confidence coming through from him. Trying to lob it across the boundary, but does not really have the strength to do that, but they'll still find the two and end the over on a high note.
This was still a very good ball.
Yeah.
More of a leg spin, and it is difficult to loft those leg spin over towards the offside areas.
Last over, 36-1. Mumbai Grizzlies, you could be in a world of trouble. You need 13 runs, that means 1 boundary or 1-3. Either will do.
Yeah.
But for now, the Grizzlies is continuing to get those twos in.
I mean, up until now, it seemed like a very plausible and an achievable target for the Mumbai Grizzlies. But now that we are down to the last over, and because the previous one had a bunch of dot balls, the pressure will start to mount up on Mumbai.
Oh yeah. The Delhi Sharks have done well to get themselves back into this game, as they will try and make sure that even if they just prevent the side of the Grizzlies from going or getting more than 2 runs every ball, they can still tie the score and get 1 point each.
Yeah, but I don't think either of these teams want that 1 point. They both lost their games yesterday.
Yeah, but
the stakes are as high as they have ever been.
9 needed off of 4. And oh, that is a shot that is again going to be going to the fielder. And folks, just letting you know, in case the score is tied, we will not be going to a super over. Instead, both teams will get 1 point each and we will move on to the next match. So it really is in Delhi's interest to try and mitigate the damage that was done in the first innings. They seem to have recovered, but that ball will find the boundary.
And that's all the pressure Mumbai has no longer need to worry about.
Oh yeah.
Everything alleviated.
The Grizzlies really, really close to the target now. 3 needed in 2 balls. And that's, well, that's going to be on Neep's head as he balls this one. Looks like they will going for another one, but they will be covered. The ball overthrown just by a bit. 1 run needed off of 2 balls. This is a close one.
Now, I have an important question to ask you, Toki. I'm dead serious. This is damn important. Probably
Let's make it quick, though.
Yeah. Do you think he'll finish it in style?
No. There's no need to. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's not worth. We saw what happens when you try and overstep your bounds. I think another team learned that lesson the hard way.
1 run and 1 ball.
Oh, yeah. This is quite the ball to play for both sides.
I know, right? Neep needs to make it a dot one. And at this point, he's going to try to bowl a really difficult shot to connect, right? But there's also the chance that if you overshoot it, it might be a wide or a no ball. And that's why he's taken so much time to set the field as well. And Sachin, all he has to do is connect.
Look at that fielding position.
My goodness, almost all the fielders are inside. No chance of a boundary. So many of them concentrated. They don't even want to let them go for a single. Sachin has to strike it, and he has to do it hard. Ball caught, and they make the run.
Gonna be the run. And that's the Grizzlies taking the second match against the Sharks as they find the win. And you can see the happiness on Sachin Preet's face. Beautiful set of innings by the Grizzlies. Great bowling, great batting. Discipline to the D and to the E.
Wonderful performance from Avinash. I would say that this is the guy who really turned the game. 2 wickets in the first over itself, decimating all of the batting prowess that Delhi possesses.
Yep. But credit where credit is due. I think the Delhi Sharks, they put up a valiant effort towards the end there. Although, I have to give the Grizzlies credit too, because that boundary really alleviated some of that pressure. But it's going to be about it for this match, folks. We're going to be throwing it over to our host, who's going to be taking the winner's interview.
All new Pulsar Manias here. Maniacs wanted.
Lenskart. Download the app or visit your nearest store.
ये पाइप चलेगा finolex pipes पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी पाइप नहीं.
This was match number 2 and Amchi Mumbai have got their first victory. Captain of Mumbai Grizzlies, please join me on stage. A big round of applause, guys. देविंदर, आइए, बताइए यार, क्या लग रहा है इस मैच के बाद, क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
लास्ट मैच जैसे हम लोग हार गए थे,
बिल्कुल,
तो काफ़ी मतलब टीम डीमोटिवेट हो गई थी. तो अभी इस बार हमने अभिषेक का भी प्रेशर में लग रहा था, उसको बोला फर्स्ट ओवर डाल, उसने काफ़ी अच्छा बॉलिंग करा. तो फर्स्ट ओवर में 2 विकेट आए, अच्छा स्टार्ट मिला. तो स्वप्निल लास्ट मैच में थोड़ा वीक बॉलिंग करा, इस बार उसने भी अच्छा बॉलिंग करा. तो उसके कारण टारगेट बहुत कम मिला. तो साजन ने भी अच्छा खेला. तो चेज में मतलब अच्छा
I
हुआ.
think bowling and fielding was very tight.
Yes.
Let's talk a little about the batting here because you're one of the top rated players.
Yes.
आप जाने जाते हो आपके runs के लिए, but as a team अभी भी वो बैट नहीं रहेगा, क्या हो रहा है?
नहीं, अभी क्या सिचुएशन के अकॉर्डिंग खेल रहा था मैं. ठीक है, मेरा गेम थोड़ा अग्रेसिव है, तो स्ट्रोक मारने के चक्कर में मैं थोड़ा गेम लॉफ्ट में मेरा थोड़ा वीक पड़ जाता है. अगर स्टार्टिंग से मैं लॉफ्ट करूं, क्योंकि मेरा मिडिल ऑर्डर थोड़ा वीक है, तो मैं स्टार्टिंग से मारने जाऊं, मेरा विकेट चलेगा तो टीम थोड़ा वो कर नहीं पाती.
वेल थॉट ओवर. वेल आप ये आप सोच के स्ट्रेटजी जो आपने सोची थी वही एग्जीक्यूट किया. ग्रेट यार. आपका एक और टीम मेंबर है जो बहुत उतावला हो रहा है आने के लिए. अभिषेक, आइए यार. अरे अभिषेक के लिए बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. फैल जा अभिषेक, अभी फैल जा, उनको माइक दे दो यार. अरे
मेरे दुश्मन समझ रहे थे कि मैं अब कभी लौट के ना आऊंगा. एक गुमनामी का समंदर है, उसी में जाके डूब जाऊंगा. मगर अभी बाकी मेरी कहानी है. मुंबई ग्रिजलीज को सारी दुनिया को दिखानी है. आ रहा हूं मैं पलट के, और हमारा टीम
कहां से आ रहे हो यार?
दिखाने कि हम लोग भी गिरा सकते हैं बिजली. मुंबई है हम लोग, मुंबई ग्रिजली.
चलो बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. माइक दे दे अविनाश. बट यस, आइए अभिषेक टॉकिंग अबाउट द गेम यार. आपने लाइक वन ऑफ द स्टैंड आउट परफॉर्मेंसेस आज के मैच के, राइट? उन्होंने विकेट्स लिए 2. बताइए, टॉक अबाउट दैट यार, कैसा लग रहा था?
मैं तो पूरा डरा हुआ था कि मेरे को तो मार पड़ने वाला है.
अच्छा,
36 पड़ने वाला है. मार मार के एकदम कचूमन निकाल देंगे.
बिल्कुल.
मेरा पहला जो विकेट लिया मैं, पहला जो विकेट मैं लिया, उसमें मेरे को एकदम मजा आ गया. ओह, उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस पूरा बढ़ गया. मगर धीरे धीरे फिर 2-3 बॉल में मार खा गया, कॉन्फिडेंस डाउन. फिर जैसे विकेट लिया, आप
अरे
और वो आप होता जाएगा.
चलिए. What a very, I think, yaar, a very match was not very exciting that way. It was a low-scoring match, but दिख रहा था, as a viewer दिख रहा था कि both the teams are really, testing each other out. देख रहे हैं अभी भी, I think, सारे teams अपना एक gelling, अपना एक balance ढूंढ रहे हैं. And Mumbai, nailed it today. Congratulations, Devinder. अरे वापस आ गए? बोलो. अरे आजा. अगले मैच में, अगले विन के बाद. चलिए देवेंद्र, congratulations and all the best for the very next match. चल, okay. Thank you so much, guys. That was end of match 2. Now over and out to my analysts.
All new Pulsar Manias here. Maniacs wanted. lenskart. Download the app.
Finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Well, we say that action speaks louder than words, but here we had Abhishek, who was great in action, also in words, which you did see that. Incredible game of cricket, all getting down to the wire till the last ball. Chetan?
You know, you have to put your actions where your word is, or put your word where your actions are. Abhishek was, our player to watch out for. That dot ball percentage, he created that pressure, got those early wickets, and look how charged up he was. That's just brilliant to watch.
But it, of course, spits out a lot of confidence there when these guys get into that. And of course, he knew that because you spoke about how confident he was getting into this game and really firing from all guns, then helping his team to an incredible victory. But again, you talk about Delhi Sharks, the lowest total in the GPL till now. We'll have a look at the batting, of course, of Delhi. Their 48 is what they scored in the lowest one so far.
Yeah, quite a disappointing performance from Delhi in that sense. 5 overs, we haven't seen such a low total. इससे कम अभी तक score नहीं हुआ है. Mumbai Grizzlies were able to chase it down. Look, they didn't make a very good start, but Sarjan and Davinder, they kept their cool. They got those runs in the early overs, but there was a lot to do. बहुत कुछ बचा था last over में करने के लिए. They kept their cool. And you know what? We saw a use of how to maneuver this field because it's at the Melbourne ground. Such big boundaries. ज़्यादा 4s and 6s नहीं आए बाद में, लेकिन उन्होंने 2s and 3s प्रेशर बनाया फील्डर्स के ऊपर और उससे वो मैच जीत पाए. Very low total, but went down to the wire. I think this was the best game of the tournament so far.
And of course, we talk about the league being unpredictable. This was one such game where we're expecting a little more of the runs on there. But of course, the low-scoring games are the ones that you always cherish and remember. And this was one of them. Now, of course, they were at one point at the start. Delhi Sharks were at 11 for 2 and eventually getting out to 48. You still have to give it to the batters, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, they did recover. They got those 30, 35 odd runs later on. But that scorecard is defined by Abhishek, our rapper, our star of the day. 2 wickets in that very first over. पहली 6 बॉलों में उन्होंने 2 विकेट निकाल दी. उसके बाद अगर 5 ओवर का मैच है जिसमें आप पहले ओवर में 2 विकेट हार जाते हो, उसके बाद there's just a lot to rebuild, redo. Delhi did it. They were able to do it in the last 4 overs, but 48 was never going to be enough. Mumbai were taking it a little slow, too slow for my liking at least, but they were able to cross the finishing line.
Now, you also talk about their individual performance. PK, they're used to PK giving them a good start, but then here, of course, he couldn't do much. And in the end, I think a good overall batting performance from Mumbai.
Yeah, I mean, they had to. 49, if they don't win with 49 runs on the board, तब तो आप क्या ही कर रहे हो? But this is the bowling performance that we are talking about. Abhishek bowling that first over, 2 for 11. Davinder bowling that 5th over, 1 for 7. So you look at that, I mean, that bowling performance, it's a progression. हर over के बाद runs बहुत कम आए हैं. They were trying to choke Delhi throughout. Got those 2 wickets. There was a partnership, but did not give away too many runs in the end as well. Last 3 overs, only 29 runs.
And of course, you talk about Delhi's bowling as well. They tried to do their level best, of course. Not really the kind of start they wanted, but remember, they still got them till the last ball. It was 1 to win from that last ball, and eventually it was nerves of steel from Mumbai who got the better of. This is how, of course, the bowling scorecard looks like. Just that 1 wicket down for Manmeet.
Yeah, and just the 1 wicket for Manmeet. But if you look at it, Webber bowled really well with those 6 runs from that second over, and then again that 4th over by Manmeet, just the 9 runs. Neep had a lot of runs to give away. Molan again quite a few runs to give away, but kudos to Delhi. इतना low total होने के बावजूद end तक match लेकर गए. I think the best game of the tournament so far.
Well, of course, like we said, of course, this is the second game for the day, and it's already given us a lot of entertainment and drama. When you look at the match summary there, and I'm pretty sure this can be as that base for a lot of teams who might struggle to score a good score on board, but then they can always look up to this, isn't it?
It's good win for Mumbai. हमने discuss किया था कि कैसे ये team बहुत अच्छी team है paper पे. Top 2 players, in the entire real cricket gaming infrastructure. उसके बाद a lot of experience with the bat, with the ball, good strike rates, good economies in their entire squad. It's time they got their first win in the first 2 games.
And of course, a lot of performances have impressed us all in a low-scoring game like that. But I'm sure you must be guessing who the man of the match is because it's right in front of you, Sergeant. Of course, without a doubt, 27 runs, massive there. Of course, incredible story of this gentleman. As we look forward, the GPL has given such a brilliant platform to so many such individuals, inspiring stories of Sergeant, of course, who lost his feet in an accident and eventually being the one of the best performers here.
You know, real life cricket की बात करें या real cricket की बात करें, batsmen को बहुत ज़्यादा award दिए जाते हैं. You know, Sergeant, well played. I personally thought Abhishek should have been the man of the match. पहले ही over में 2 wicket गिरा के उन्होंने match बना दिया था. So I'll just, you know, little bit disagree here. कि I think Abhishek should have been the man of the match. But well played to Sergeant. He was there throughout for his team, took them across the finish line. It was important to do that क्योंकि उनको वो पहली win चाहिए थी. पिछला मैच हार चुके थे, ये मैच जीतना जरूरी था. Well played to Sergeant.
Well, of course, Sergeant can really cherish that man of the match. But what was more important in the fall of wickets, certainly it was the partnerships which really helped. Of course, both sides of the teams, because Delhi, again, we talked about it. 2 wickets quickly, and then eventually you had the likes of Neep and Jayesh who took the guard and of course led forward. But then of course we're talking about Mumbai Grizzlies first, the team which won there. Not a good opening start, but you can see that 43, one of the biggest partnerships that you must have seen in GPL in the last 2 days.
Yeah, and this is why Sergeant got the man of the match. He was there till the end, got those 27 runs. And like I said, you know, it was important. They had lost their previous game, but you know, he wanted to stay there. It was important for him to stay there. Low totals can be, you know, real bit dicey at some stage. So kudos to him for being there till the end.
But I can assure you one thing, that low-scoring games are absolutely entertaining, and of course, no, all cricket fans know that, and they would want that as much as we talk. On the other end, we speak about, of course, the Delhi Sharks, who again, a quick jolt on their end, 2 wickets down, but eventually got a good partnership after that to at least take them to a 48, which is again, did not cross 50. We heard a caster saying that as well, that of course anything around 60 is always a good total to defend. But again, you have to give credits to the way they batted and eventually took them out to the score that they had.
And yes, यहाँ पे आपको बहुत ज़्यादा difference दिखेगा कि पहली 2 wicket जो हैं आपकी बहुत जल्दी गिर गई, कोई runs नहीं थे ज़्यादा बोर्ड पर, फिर एक बड़ी partnership आई, फिर वो 2 wicket गिरी. तो एक partnership 4 wicket के लिए, you know, that's where you lost the game. Mumbai, उन्होंने ये चीज़ नहीं होने दी अपनी innings में, and that is why they won the game.
But of course, it's also a test of character because these teams have really got back after losing and then coming back to, you know, creating something out of it, taking it as a fresh day. We'll have a look at the batting pitch map of how things unfold in that game of between Delhi Sharks and Mumbai Grizzlies there, because I think this really gives a good overall summary of where, of course, we had the batters putting it across there. You talk about the runs there, all the runs which have come in a specific area, isn't it?
But yes, they were trying to play on the offside. That was the kind of bowling that they were facing. 3 wickets for them, but also 2 of them coming from the outside, wide off the off stump. So yeah, good targeting from the Mumbai Grizzlies and getting that, you know, getting that win in the bag.
Absolutely. Well, on the other end, we did see from the bowling perspective that how they were trying to restrict them, the Delhi Sharks, and it's kudos to the bowling because you talk about the bowling side of how Delhi actually came forward. Eventually, the Mumbai Grizzlies, of course, were facing it. Again, runs were there. They were getting it slowly and steadily.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bowling pitch map. So this is how they bowled to the opposition side. And you look at those wicket-taking deliveries, 2 wickets at the very beginning, then a 3rd wicket at the right. So again, you know, Abhishek used that leg side very well, choked the batsman, did not get them any room to play their shots in the power play, and that's how he got those wickets.
Right, of course, we did see about where Mumbai Grizzlies were actually looking forward to bowl in that direction to keep the Delhi Sharks pretty much contained. We talk about where the runs were scored because that eventually will matter a lot for all the batters who are out there to give them an idea. And if you see that, majority of it towards the leg side, I mean, a major chunk of it rather.
Yeah, I mean, this is against the pace. So they were able to control the pace of the innings. They were able to control later on. And you look at that 46% and that 15% in the square leg mid-wicket region, like I mentioned, you know, ज़्यादा boundaries नहीं आए. They were running those 2s and 3s really hard. And the big boundaries at the Melbourne ground, they worked well in Mumbai's favor. And this is what it shows.
Well, of course, again, going forward, you know, you have seen the brute batsmen not really performing up to their potential. It's more of the radicals, and of course, sometimes the defense are working out. Is it a time for them to rethink strategies?
Yeah, probably. They've now lost 2 games in a row. 2 match लगातार हार चुके हैं. So yeah, probably need to rethink. The batting didn't work today at all. अगर आप ऐसे 2 wicket जल्दी हार जाओगे, उसके बाद वापस आना match में, it's going to be very, very tough. Mumbai, obviously, they won the one game now, their second game, and they are finally on the points table.
But of course, there were not many 4s and 6s, but we'll still have a look at what were there by of course, the Pulsar S125 showstopper. Like we did say that not a lot of 4s and 6s, but again, it's all quick thinking, and if I can call it improvising from what situation they were put in, taking those quick 2s and 3s, which really helped them actually steer through that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, the big ground, not a lot of boundaries in there, so a lot of maneuvering, low total, not your typical 5-over game, but yeah, Mumbai did well to win it.
And of course, the wickets were there for sure. Let's have a look at the wickets brought to you by lenskart. Well, it's been an absolute cliffhanger between these two teams that are playing, really closely contested. And again, we see that between the players, the kind of excitement. Of course, they're not really playing physically out there, but the mental battle is always on. You're seeing them from the player dugouts of how intensity can actually be. And remember, these players are playing as a single individual in the team out of the 5 and 6 that they have eventually. So again, there's a difference when you're trying to play it as a team and also as an individual. But we'll have a look at how the points table now go forward, because again, the equation will keep changing time and again, because it's becoming now a closely contested battle. And remember, we're just on day 2 now. That's how it looks like. I mean, Chennai again are losing the track and moving down after this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're yet to play. They've already played their 2 games, so they've lost 1 and 1-1. But Mumbai Grizzlies, it's important for them to get on the points table. This is only their second game, so they've finally got a victory on board and reduced the negative run rate margin. So yeah, New York Apes still on top, and now we have a game coming up between Dubai Vipers and Kolkata Hawks. So they'll be playing their second game. That's toward the top of the table. But these teams now catching up. They're playing their second games. So yeah, they're cutting down Chennai's advantage.
Well, now Delhi Sharks have a lot to do after this, because again, they're languishing at the bottom of the table, have a few games in hand, and I really think that they really have to turn the table. But we'll have a look at the runs which have been scored so far. We have some great contenders out there, because every game that you're seeing, well, the records are being broken.
Oh yeah, I mean, as the matches are going to pile up, you're going to get the top run scorers. Manoj still at the top. He's still waiting to get a go. Anil, obviously, they played 2-2 games each. But Tejas, he was good for the London Rhinos. Pradyumna, again, he's opening for Sydney Panthers. And then Neep, he has been vital. Although Delhi Sharks have lost both their matches, he's been the standout performer for Delhi Sharks in those 2 games.
Right, of course. And talk about Neep, because, he's there when the team requires him the most. Yeah. Of course, he may not be amongst the one who may be the highest run getter so far. But again, we talk about a game of real cricket that we're having in the GEPL. It's important to fire when it matters. And in games like these, which could be so tightly contested, the temperament matters, and that's what Neep has really shown. We go for an understanding, of course, the runs were there, but again, the wickets which really matter as well. We keep speaking about this, right? I mean, you don't give a lot of focus to the people, to the bowlers especially, but in a game like this I'm talking about. But here again, these are the bowlers who have really changed things. You talk about Azan there, from the bottom, Azan and Amit having that, little competition there. But Anil, talk about the performance which he had so far.
I mean, I think Davinder's performance has got him to number 3 in that list. He's got those 3 wickets now. His performance was really important in that final over against Delhi. Got that win. Obviously, Anil, he got those 3 wickets in just the 1 over in that first game for Chennai. And he has stayed there at the top. But the others are starting to catch up as they're playing their games.
But of course, between Mumbai and Delhi, the game we had, a strike rate could have been a debate, because when you're under pressure, coming out and batting, and trying to give the quick runs becomes a challenge, and especially the overall strike rate that we see right now. Again, Vamsi, massive 400.
I mean, he scored just 8 runs, when he played, when he got that strike rate. So he just,
That's why I said it's a debate because, you could probably have one ball and you could probably go for a 6, but
you can't beat that.
exactly.
You had a no ball, you had a 6, you had a boundary, and then he got out. So yeah, I think he had 2 boundaries and a run out, something like that. He got that strike rate of 400. You can't beat that. But you look at after that, you had Azan with 33. He was really, really vital for Sydney Thunders in their first win of the tournament.
But of course, the strike rate would keep on changing. So of course, will the points table be coming down, because we have another 3 games on the trot which are coming up at the GEPL Day 2. Remember, these teams, of course, are playing against each other for the very first time. It's the inaugural season.
Yeah.
They've had the qualifiers building up to it. Now a game, of course, a day in hand. And now, of course, they know each other's now.
Yeah, now I think I was sitting with a few players and I think they are starting to know themselves really well. बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स हैं ना प्रेडिक्ट कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं इस पे ये शॉट खेलना चाहिए, इस पे ये गेंद डालनी चाहिए, ऐसे बॉलिंग करनी चाहिए, स्लोअर डालनी चाहिए, रिवर्स डालनी चाहिए, यॉर्कर डालनी चाहिए, पावर प्ले में लॉफ्ट नहीं करना चाहिए, उसको along the ground खेलना चाहिए.
Analytical.
It's getting analytical out here to a degree which we cannot imagine because these are the gamers. हम अपने दर्शकों को बता दें, लाखों की तादाद में प्लेयर्स आए थे जिन्होंने क्वालिफाइंग राउंड में हिस्सा लिया था और टॉप 48 प्लेयर्स हैं in 8 teams में, and they form the best of the global eCricket Premier League.
Well, of course, I tried my hand at it, and let me tell you, it was a disastrous campaign for me personally. We're talking about real cricket, but well, I'm really happy with the fact that I'm getting to see some incredible matches. Well, we're heading into a short little break, but on the other side, we're gearing up for the next game.
Dosto, we are at the end of match number 2. It was the Delhi Sharks versus Mumbai Grizzlies. What a match. We are now breaking for intermission, but stay tuned because more exciting match coming your way.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स, पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.